All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of our Madden 25 Connected Franchise Player Mode series. I am Tuxedo T-Shirt and Johnny Football. Looking to get going today. Let's get right into it. First things first, we got a game in just a moment against the Bengals. Now, one thing I did just do off camera was go through our bye week. Our bye week only had one action available, which was to practice, and so I did that. We were successful in that practice. Just figured I'd get through the bye week, but that means that we have some updated standings. Ravens won. Steelers have won a couple straight, which means that not that we are necessarily with experiencing tight competition, we'll just say, in the AFC North standings. There is some development there that you guys should be aware of. We do have a chance today to essentially end the Bengals season with their record falling to 3-8 if they were to lose, and us improving to 9-1. That would, I think, kind of seal the deal on those Bengals. So we'll see how that one rolls. Only update for today: no transactions. However, the injury report does have some bad news. Yesterday's episode saw Jordan Cameron go down with a shoulder tear, and he was originally going to be miss 4 weeks. The reality is he's going to miss 3 weeks because the bye week consumed one of those weeks. However, Jermaine Gresham going to have to be the number one target for us for the next few games because Jordan Cameron is out. He's the first serious injury we've had all season, and it's too bad because he was on pace, I think, to finish first in receiving for the entire league at the tight end spot, and certainly was having an excellent season. But this doesn't mean that he still can't come back triumphantly and do some great things. Even with him missing the next 3 games, he should be in for the final month of the season, barring a second injury, which is great. Also, I'll quickly after the practice head over to the awards section of our panels. Johnny Manziel, obviously with an amazing game yesterday, 6 touchdown passes, 0 picks. Was named the Offensive Player of the Week. That's his second award of the season. Not often that rookie guys are going to get that award at all, much less twice, and in just 9 games. So far, he's hitting at about 22% roughly for times in which he's awarded the Player of the Week award, which is pretty outstanding. Here we check down to Andrew Hawkins. Corner pinches up, and there's a fumble. Josh Gordon picks it up, runs up another. Oh, my goodness. That was amazing. Josh Gordon gets another, 10, 15 yards out of that. We're gonna have to check out that replay. That's one of the most amazing things I think I've ever seen in Madden. Holy smokes. I didn't even see what had happened there. So Hawkins gets slammed. The fumble pops out, and it does hit the ground. But Josh Gordon just swoops in there seamlessly. Let's watch that in live speed. Boom. The time from the fumble to the time that it's picked up is literally no more than about a half second. Wow. Fumble picked up. That's got to be like 0.3 of a second. And let's make that our thumbnail. I try to steer clear of the practice thumbnails, but wow, that was remarkable. Josh Gordon thinking on his feet, and he'll get a thumbnail for that. Don't know which angle we'll choose, but certainly thumbnail acquired, done. Wow, what a heads-up play by the star wide receiver, picking up that fumble when I didn't even yawn. I didn't even see that one come out, to be perfectly honest. Jermaine Gresham hit there for a modest gain on first down, about 4 yards on the quick little out route. We'll just let this clock run down. We'll give the ball to Ben Tate. He'll be able to take it around the left-hand side. Hopefully, gain some positive yardage there. We hand it off, and Ben Tate kicks it back inside, and that's a nice decision. I oftentimes will complain about where exactly Ben Tate chooses to take his runs on that play. I fully support that decision. Good decision to cut it back. Right on. Here we'll check it down to Barnage. And Gary Barnage makes a nice little reception there, 7 yards. Barnage, mostly a blocking tight end. He's going to get a little bit of a larger role because of the injury to Jordan Cameron. He moves up to second on the depth chart, though. When the game comes, it might be in our best interest to manually change that. We have some other receiving tight ends who could probably slot into that position a little more seamlessly. This run to Tate should be the last play of the before the 2-minute warning. And certainly it is. 4-yard run up the right-hand side. We'll just select a play to get this clock moving, and it will run down. Running down. Here you can see a little weak zone set. Hilliard going to bounce in, if we were to call the play, of course. This is a play that we've called in the past, and usually not very effective. Let's just say that. Hilliard, I sincerely question his abilities as a lead blocker. It's certainly sketchy, to say the least. Here we go ahead. We hand it off the right side, and Tate, another nice run up the gut, 4 yards for him. 3rd and 2, and anytime you can get set up in 3rd and short this way, good things tend to happen. Very good things. Already in field goal range, we're going to have try and run this clock down basically as far as it can possibly go. We can kill another 20-some seconds. That would get us down. Excuse me, another yawn. I apologize. To be perfectly honest, I am recording this shortly after waking up, so if my voice sounds a little weird, and I got the yawns coming, I apologize. But I had time first thing in the morning, so I said, screw it. I'm recording some Johnny Football. So here we go. Manziel rolls, and he's just going to take off, slide at the 12-yard line, and that forces the practice team to use their first timeout, which is always good. Good when the practice team uses their timeouts. Means that we are very close to killing this practice altogether. Here we go with the handoff to Tate, and he's got room off the right-hand side. Tate goes in for the score. Ben Tate, 11.5 yards out from the goal line, gets there for the touchdown. Good stuff. We'll sim the rest of this practice out, and with 4 seconds left, we get the ball back, and we're just going to kneel this one out. Browns defense continuing their wonderful season. I've yet to really have a game where I felt as though our defense let us down in any way, shape, or form. They have been absolutely phenomenal all season long, and great to see them have another good performance here, shutting down the practice team, and that'll get us to our game. We are playing the Bengals, as mentioned earlier. We beat the Bengals, I think it was in week 3. I could be wrong on that, but week 3, I think, was the week. We beat them by about a touchdown, and this will actually mark the final time we play the Bengals this season, of course, with this being our second game against them. We also played, we've already played both of our games against the Ravens, which is odd because we've yet to even play the Steelers. We got 2 games against the Steelers, and we'll see when that comes up. Weekly award update. This is from last week, obviously from our bye week. Previous week, though, here we see it. Johnny Football, 21 of 26, 270 yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks. On the ground, he had 5 carries for 39 yards as well, which is a nice number to kick in. So there we go. Johnny Football twice now named the Offensive Player of the Week. Second time in a month, probably. I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but so far so good, certainly. Last week, I expressed my concerns with it being the halfway point of the season and all, that Johnny Football was, having a good season. I certainly didn't say he was having a poor season, but certainly that he was throwing too many interceptions. The ratio of 14 touchdowns to 12 picks was not terrible for a rookie quarterback, but certainly the 12 interceptions just too high. And he came out through 6 touchdowns, no picks, which means that his ratio is now at 20 to 12, which is not bad at all, especially for a rookie quarterback. It also means that his pace for touchdown passes this season is way up. He was on pace for 28 at the halfway point of the season, which would have been just fine as a season total. However, now with 20 in just 9 games, he's on pace at this point, I believe, for just over 32, which would be absolutely stellar. Really speeding up that pace, and lots of good things. So here we go. We are playing in Cincinnati this time. Cincinnati came to us first game. This game, we get to go to Cincinnati, just take the short bus ride, probably. I'm not sure exactly how far Cincinnati and Cleveland are from one another, but I believe it's no more than 2 hours of ground travel. It's very close. And, wow. Game starts off with a Browns touchdown. Interesting stuff. We're going to go ahead. Let's check out the statistics. I would love to see defensively exactly how we scored that touchdown. We started this game by kicking off, and the Browns scored a touchdown. Andy Dalton's 0 for 3 with an interception, so it appears to be an interception return. We will, of course, recap these at the end of the game, and sure enough, Donte Whitner, the starting strong safety out of Ohio State, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers, of the modern-day, real-life Denver Broncos. No, he used to be. No, maybe. Did he play for the Broncos? I'm not sure. I know he came over to the Browns from the he came over to the Browns from the 49ers. Either way, not important. Let's go ahead to the depth chart. And wow, gotta love it going into an opponent's stadium and taking the field with a lead. That's always a special feeling, and gotta love it. So far, so good. Very, very, very positive start here for this squad. And if I can ever get this properly set, boom, there it is. Wide receivers properly set. Also tight ends. You can see here Gresham, the number 2 option. Barnage, the number 3 option. However, we don't have any other guys dressed, unfortunately, so we cannot pop anybody in there. But Barnage, as much as he is more of a blocking type guy, he does have some athletic ability. Not as much as our other guys listed. But when it comes to catching, his hands are just about as good as Gresham's. So we shouldn't lose anything there. That should be just fine. Bengals, meanwhile, Andy Dalton. This is, of course, a roster we've seen already once this season, so we will go through it pretty quickly. Giovanni Bernard, Benjarvis Green-Ellis, Jeremy Hill, the rookie running back, fullback Orson Charles, wide receivers A.J. Green, Marvin Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Kobe Hamilton, tight end Tyler Eifert, backed up by former Brown Tim Wright, left tackle Andrew Whitworth, left guard Clint Bowling, center Nick Hardwick, right guard Kevin Zeitler, right tackle Jordan Gross, left end Margus Hunt, right end Will Clark, defensive tackle Geno Atkins. Not really somebody better in the league. Absolutely stellar. Joe Kruger is hurt, and so Devin Still will be the second defensive tackle there. Quentin Groves, the former Brown, at the outside linebacker spot. Middle linebacker Kelvin Shepard. Right outside linebacker Vonteze Burfict. Corner Leon Hall. Darqueezy Denard, the rookie. Adam Jones, a.k.a. Pac-Man Jones there. And in the dime package, Drake Kirkpatrick, who unfortunately is a former first round pick, is looking like a bit of a bust at this point. Reggie Nelson, the free safety. Strong safety Roman Harper. Kicker Mike Nugent. Punter Kevin Huber. And kick return, punt return will be Brandon Tate, wide receiver, taking that over. Also, the last time he played the Bengals, I speculated that Vonteze Burfict may have at one point played for the Raiders. Somebody, a very loyal Bengals fan, commented that Burfict actually was an undrafted rookie who came into the Bengals organization 2 years ago and played his way onto the team, actually led them in tackles this past season. So I thank that loyal fan for that information. And as I say that, I checked down to Hilliard, the fullback, who tries to make a move. Why are you trying to make a move? You're a fullback. But he still gets the 8 yards necessary for a first down, 6 yards, and then a couple extra for the first down, which is wonderful. Johnny Manziel starting off today's game with a completion. Always a good thing. Never a bad thing to get that first pass completed. Here we go ahead. It's Antonio Holmes, who absolutely decimates the corner in coverage or with that curl route. Holmes coming back to the football very nicely and really doing a nice job of making an athletic play, following the catch to continue moving that ball up the sideline. We'll go right back to Holmes, who I think should be a slightly larger part of this offense. I don't know if his play has necessarily mandated that, but as a number one receiver, it would be nice to keep him a little bit more involved. I think he makes catches basically every game, and I think he's even on pace for between 600 and 800 yards. I would just love to see him get a little more involved, have us use just that extra element of his game. There, Jermaine Gresham, Lost the block there, unfortunately, on that Ben Tate run. That looked to be a 10-yard rush. Instead, it went very short. Ended very quickly. 3rd and 2 upcoming. We'll get Barnage and Gresham just we'll get them just clearing out. We'll get why not? We'll get Holmes running that curl route again with the corner playing so far off, and we will hit him underneath very nicely. Holmes not able to make a move to the outside this time, but still holds on for a nice gain of 14 yards. 3 receptions for 37 yards for Holmes on this drive, and so far so good. Manziel also doing a perfect job there of throwing that football to Holmes' outside shoulder. Keeping that ball away from the defenders and allowing Holmes to use his body to protect that football there. Ouch. Hall, the corner, who's been beaten twice back to back by Holmes, clearly getting upset, and he takes it out there on Ben Tate. He just sheds the block from Santonio Holmes and makes a nice play there to get the stop for no gain, essentially, from Tate. Here we'll look to the corner, potentially to Burleson. He's got a step on his man, and it's knocked down. Burleson did not maintain that step, or maybe I just gave him too much credit from the get-go, and he never had much of a step. Either way, the point is that play broken up by the defender. Credit him for a nice play, and we will, on 3rd down, look to the shotgun formation to give us what we need. Blitz coming from the outside. We go to Gordon in the back of the end zone. He sits down. Touchdown. Touchdown strike from Manziel to Gordon. Gordon just sat there in the corner. I hesitated to throw that football because the defender was in the foreground. However, they were not able to get back in time. And we get the score. Let's go next play just manually a little bit, just so I can actually see exactly what's going on. Otherwise, it kind of drives me crazy a little bit. They're driving for the Bengals, which is not a 3-and-out. They do manage to get some first downs. Eventually ends in a punt, which we take. It must have gone for a touchback, considering we're starting at exactly our 20-yard line. And we will take over here at our own 20-yard line. This will be the last play of the first quarter. And we're going to air it out. Josh Gordon, can he get under it? Oh, just no. He had a step on the defender, and Manziel just barely overthrew him. But, man, you can see the strength on Johnny Manziel's arm there. He really got that ball cranked, amped it up, and just wasn't able to quite get it there, unfortunately. But we'll continue to work on that. Free safety blitz coming from the Bengals. We look to Josh Gordon in the zone coverage, and that goes for a gain of 24 yards. Josh Gordon doing what he does best, and that brings us to the second quarter. Browns up 14-zip, and after an absolute blowout in yesterday's episode, Browns appear primed to lay another licking on another squad. Currently, Browns on a ridiculous scoring streak. Dating back to last episode, we should be on about a 56-3 scoring streak. Today's game has been aided by our defense, of course. However, still a remarkable scoring streak. And we're doing it against some stiff competition. Bengals aren't, of course, having their best season, but they, of course, have a lot of talent. A.J. Green is an elite receiver. Andy Dalton, nothing to shake a stick at, though he is not an elite quarterback. I don't think anyone would try to make that argument. And lots of defensive players. Geno Atkins, very solid. Excellent group of cornerbacks, DBs. A lot to like on this Bengals team. So far, we're just taking it to him. Jermaine Gresham with a nice catch there on first down, giving us a new set of downs, and those will immediately get underway here. Gresham is open again. Manziel perfectly lays it over his shoulder. That appeared to be Vontez Perfect in coverage. I could have been wrong on that, catching the nameplate. If anybody saw it, feel free to let me know in the comments if I was mistaken. Looking to keep it in the air. Gresham, a popular target on this drive. We'll get Lewis just exiting. And Gresham, we try to bring it back to the ball, and he comes back. Beauty. Over the goal line, touchdown. Manziel is throwing the ball like it's shooting fish in a barrel right now. He's got 2 touchdowns today. He had he had 6 last week, of course. 2, I think, in the first half last week. He's already matched that. And, wow, this Browns team has absolutely, inarguably, found its stride. We are riding a major hot streak right now, and it is phenomenal. Up, and this appears to be, the injury is down, and it appears to be a Bengals player. Nothing to worry about for us. 4 yards for Tate up the gut, and with the score being what it is, I think it'd be best to really crank out the run game for this one. Just try to kill as much of the clock as possible. Tate, another nice run up the gut. Credit the interior. By the way, Burfict number 55, not the player in coverage there from the last possession. Not sure who that was. Number 53. If anybody knows, let me know. I don't have the roster written down for the Bengals anyways. We check to Gresham on 3rd and 2, and Gresham strips a tackle, fights for those extra yards. Gresham making us not miss Jordan Cameron. Gresham has been an absolute beast today, and so far it really appears as though we have fleeced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe the team we brought him in from. I think that is correct. I'm about 99% sure on that. But wow, great play. Tate up the gut again. He goes for 3.5 yards. Atkins with the tackle. I think really with us already being in field goal range and everything, we're just going to seal out this drive with running the ball on 1st and 2nd down, and maybe on 3rd down if necessary. We can give that play up. It's a chance for Tate to catch his breath if necessary. But or depending on yardage as well. There, another nice carry for Tate. Browns' offensive line really dominating the Bengals unit. That goes for a gain of about 4 yards. And on this play, let's go ahead here. Let's put it in the air. Gresham is running a very aggressive route, kind of the double move to the corner. Hilliard, the outlet man. I'd love to hit one of them. Gresham comes wide open. Have we let him too far to get his feet in bounds? No, he didn't. Manziel just leading him a little bit too far. Would have been better to sling that one in there. That's my mistake, folks. But Gresham, that would have been a 19-yard touchdown pass. As it stands, we'll go for the quick field goal. No shame in it. 21-zip, the score for the Browns. Provided that Billy Cundiff is able to make this 36-yarder. Vince Young with the hold. There it is. The score now, 24-zip. Browns destroying their cross-state rival. The Cincinnati Bengals just need to get something going here on this drive. And the reality is they go 3 and out and punt it away. Browns take over at the 35-yard line on their side of half. And with 151, we'll look to put a little scoring drive together here. And oh no, Pac-Man Jones with a brutal pick. That is a nightmare. Manziel makes the tackle. I don't know if you guys saw that. That pick made with Pac-Man Jones. We had, I think it was Antonio Holmes sitting by the sideline. Hopefully you'll see it here. And that was Santonio Holmes sitting by the sideline. Fortunately, we can get to the replay. Holmes sits by the sideline. That's where I was looking to throw the ball to him. But as soon as I bring back the throwing motion, for whatever reason, I don't know if that was a terrible throw and Holmes was reacting to it, or if Manziel, somehow knew that Holmes was going to come back in. I think Holmes is probably to blame, because if we throw that pass right there, and especially because I was leading to the right hand side, Holmes is not that pass is not at risk of being picked off. That's going to be a 6-yard reception. Holmes is going to take a step out of bounds. As it stands, terrible interception, just brutal. Fortunately for us, the Bengals only turn it into a field goal, and we get the ball more or less straight back, so it doesn't hurt us too much. However, that is the first interception Manziel has thrown since the beginning of last game, throwing 8 touchdown passes in that streak, which is great. And there he goes to Gordon over the middle, finding the hole in the zone again. Josh Gordon, so dominant when he gets an opportunity, and he has been dominant for the last while. Very, very nice game from him today. Manziel rolls left here, and he's going to take off, gets out of bounds at the 35-yard line of the Bengals. That goes for 11 yards and a first down. 55 seconds left in the half. We have all 3 of our timeouts. We're being very chintzy with them at the moment, not using one in the last play, choosing instead to go no huddle, no safety in on the blitz. And when that happens, you go right there immediately. Jermaine Gresham makes the nice catch. Manziel's numbers have to be ridiculous for this first half in terms of yardage, certainly. Just has been airing it out effectively. Brown's going to run on this play. We'll use a timeout to stop the clock immediately afterward. Tate off the right-hand side cuts it back. Poor decision. That goes for just 1 yard. Would have had a lot more available on the right-hand side, but shit happens, unfortunately. On 2nd and 9, we'll look to go to the air. We won't throw anything if it's tight, if we're risking a pick. However, if somebody comes wide open, you may as well take the free points, and that is what's going on here. Josh Gordon wide open on the corner route. The strong safety, no answer for that. Josh Gordon, when he comes that open, and Manziel just beautifully throws it up and over the shoulder, and solid game here today, folks. The best part as well is with the Bengals running up the clock is we've received to start the second half with the score 31-3. I will not super sim in this series. Some people I'm sure will ask, once you've sealed the victory, are you going to super sim? I'm not going to super sim. And wow, Bengals blitzing the free safety again. Santonio Holmes route perfectly schemed against that. Manziel 257, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. That 257 coming almost exclusively in the first half. Certainly on pace for a 300-yard game. Almost on pace for 500 yards in this game is Manziel. He's just been stellar. Checks it down there to Josh Gordon, 7 yards. Gordon, 6 catches, 96 on the day. And wow, this is impressive because with Jordan Cameron getting hurt, I feared our passing game slowing down. The reality is it's actually picked up quite a bit, which is pretty remarkable. Manziel takes off, gets a couple nice downfield blocks from his receivers. Atkins giving chase. Manziel steps out of bounds, almost 30 yards on that run. Great blocks there, one from Gresham, one from Holmes. And, man, it's such a great thing when your receivers can throw blocks downfield. That is a stellar wrinkle. And Josh Gordon, spin move at the 2-yard line. 2 guys right there, just splits them. Touchdown. You know what that reminded me of? That little spin move to split the defenders reminded me of Kenny Wu in D2 Mighty Ducks. For anyone who's seen that movie, a childhood favorite of mine. Wow. Gordon just splits the defenders, and that is a beautiful thing. 38-3 the score. Gordon and Holmes have, wow. It's tough to even put this game into words, quite frankly. And there it is. Manziel brought down for the safety. There were a couple options potentially open. Tate missed him in the blocking scheme coming off, though that's not really his fault. That was our right tackle just getting fleeced. And so we do give up the 2 points with the safety. However, our defense gets the stop and must have got a turnover because we have started this drive at the 14-yard line of the Bengals with 2:53 left in the third quarter. And this one clearly beyond the point of ugly. Manziel tries to throw it in there to Burleson, who's out of bounds. 2nd and 10 upcoming. This one is become so one-sided. 38-5 the score, even with the safety touch by the Bengals there. Tate looking ahead outside on the right-hand side. They've got that side of the defense stacked, and so we're not going to do that. We're going to check it down to Gresham, who gets us down to the 1-yard line. Gresham, 100 yards on the day, 6 for 109, the exact numbers. And we'll just go QB sneak at this point, I think. We'll try and get Manziel going up and over this vaunted Browns offensive line, and he does just that. Manziel goes up, doesn't even take much of a shot, scoring the touchdown. He's got 3 through the air, 1 on the ground today, and very solid game. Browns punt the football, and at this point I think it's best to almost just run the clock. I hate to say run the clock because we will still be putting the ball in the air and all that good stuff, but certainly with this game being over as far as the result is concerned, we have a 40-point lead at the moment, and we're still in the third quarter, for goodness sakes. This game should, for all intents and purposes, be over, and I think just running the ball, getting this clock down is probably the best thing to do. We're going to have an opportunity here to get the clock down to the end of the third quarter if we so choose with the run here. If Tate gets the first down on 3rd and 5, great. If not, no problem. And he crashes right, gets 3 yards, but no more. And then, oh, shoot. Ben Tate injured on that play. We'll come back to let you guys know exactly how bad the injury is. The injury stops the clock, which means that there are still 31 seconds left in the third quarter. Browns into punt. Zoltan Mesko will punt. He's been pretty terrible this year, to be perfectly honest. His number's not good. We'll see how he does today, standing at his own 23-yard line. If he ever snaps the football, that is. There we go. Finally. The snap back. Mesko punts. Comes down at the 17-yard line. Tate in, and Tate brought down at his own 35. This Browns team, if there's one criticism I have of them, it's that they have been giving up a lot of longer returns this season. And at the end of the third quarter, wow. Bengals drive just fizzles out. Browns take over again. Ben Tate back in the game, so his injury did not keep him out long, which is good. We do look to run play action on this play. We'll just check it down, do the conservative thing, give it to Tate. Unfortunately, he heads out of bounds for an inexplicable reason. Manziel now at 291 yards on the day. He only had 50 yards passing in that third quarter, which by a lot of quarterback standards isn't even that bad. But we are moving away from the ultra-aggressive play. Tate there, nowhere to go. He actually loses a yard. Roman Harper comes up to make that play. And so we'll just pick a quick flow play. We'll see if we can put it in the air here. Gresham will get him running. We'll get him running a zig route. It would be nice to continue this drive if at all possible. Manziel's got a roll and nothing doing. Joe Thomas beaten on that blitz by Adam Pac-Man Jones. We did potentially have Josh Gordon running that post route, but not willing to put it over the middle without much of a step. We take the sack, which is not a problem. It runs more time off the clock. And Mesko, that one comes down to Tate at his own 47-yard line. No, 42-yard line. And a nice return again. Another 15-yard return seems to be the standard for this Browns the Browns special teams play. Nugent kicks a field goal, makes it 45-8. And again, we'll start off by handing this football off, just trying to kill time mostly. We will put the ball in the air, which is why we're not super simming. We do want to make sure that we have full control over this entire series, so that when it comes to the end of the season, we know exactly where all these stats have come from. Tate, lackluster day, 13 carries, 35 yards. That play went for about 6, which is one of his better runs on the day. But still, he's been functionally efficient, I would say. Though his average is not pretty, he's made some nice plays. And Tate shakes off. Wow. A block was blatantly missed on that screen pass. Tate just shook him off, then went for almost 20 yards around the left-hand side on the screen. That's a great play. Really him buying out one of his blockers there. Didn't see who it was. Defender came swooping in despite 2 blockers being right there in the neighborhood. So credit to Tate for beating his man there. Manziel will take it up the right-hand side here. He takes a shot, but not before getting a first down. 53 yards off 4 carries for Manziel today. We'll look to put this one in the air. Just looking to get this 300-yard game. For those of you who know me, you know that I am not at all a stats guy per se. I will not make on-field decisions to reflect statistics. However, when it comes to a 300-yard game, when the actual game itself is in no way, shape, or form at risk, I'll put the ball in the air a little bit to massage those stats just a little bit. I won't let it inform game plan is my basic point. But when the game's long since over and all that really matters is getting Manziel some extra developmental points, which he will from potentially being named Offensive Player of the Week, from potentially getting a 300-yard game bonus, depending on what his weekly goal was. I say we take it. Ben Tate making a nice catch there. Ben Tate more dangerous as a receiver today than actually as a runner. That gets us down to the 2-minute mark. And with the score 45-8 Browns, we all know this game is over. Both sides know. I imagine the stadium would be fairly empty at this point, though, of course, because it's Madden, the stadium is absolutely jam-packed. We'll get Andrew Hawkins running the zig route. I'd love to hit one of these bigger receivers down here. Hawkins trailing out. And Manziel, he takes a shot. Got some positive yardage there, but, man, he took a shot. The defender coming off Andrew Hawkins to make that play. Would have been nice if Hawkins had fallen back into the end zone. If his defender was going to come up, that would have made him an option. Instead, he kind of did the only thing you can't do, which is not make a decision and just wait there. And that play knocked down. Strong safety getting aggressive on that play, breaking that pass to Josh Gordon up. That's the first time today the strong safety has really seemed interested in defending a play to Josh Gordon. So credit him for finally making a nice decision there. Burleson working his man in and out. Zone play, and Manziel's got pressure again. 4th and goal. We're going to have to kick the field goal. We may as well. Johnny Football's got his 300-yard game. There's not really a reason to continue on throwing the ball at this point. We've already destroyed our division rivals sufficiently, and so Billy Cundiff comes in. He makes the field goal. Just a little chip shot there from about 22 yards out. And 48-8 the score. We restore our 40-point lead. We're just going to sim to player turn. Bengals actually score a touchdown on that drive. With the game essentially over, 14 seconds left, we'll look to throw one last pass. Hopefully it's completed, and the clock runs out. If not, we'll just hand it off to Ben Tate, and he'll take the ball. Andrew Hawkins makes the catch over the middle, and that's a solid play to finish this game on 22 yards on that play for Hawkins. And we will select a play if we have to, just to get this clock running down. And there we go, folks. 1-0. Clock expires. The gun goes off. 48-11, the final score. Browns over Bengals in what was an absolute throttling. Pardon me, Bengals actually, of course, not scoring a touchdown. They scored a field goal in that last play. I forgot they scored the previous field goal and thought, they got an unconverted touchdown, whatever. Reality is they get a field goal. So they did not score a touchdown all day. Dalton for the Bengals, 10 of 31, 132 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. Awful day. Manziel, just the opposite. 23 of 30, 367 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Stellar. Running the ball, Ben Tate, 13 of 35. Bernard, 12 for 34. Manziel, the most dominant rusher on the day, 6 for 57 and a touchdown. That might be good enough to put him over for player of the week. Jermaine Gresham, 7 for 126, 1 touchdown. Josh Gordon, 7 for 110, 3 touchdowns. Absolutely dominant. Santonio Holmes, 4 for 63. Leading the way for the Bengals was A.J. Green, 4 for 79. Defensively, Leon Hall led the game with 8 tackles. Craig Robertson just behind him with 7. Sacks in this one. Carlos Dunlap, Adam Jones had 1 each for the Bengals. Barkevius Mingo, 1 for the Browns. Picks, 2 for Dante Whitner, 1 for Adam Jones. Kicking-wise, Mike Nugent was 3 for 3. Billy Cundiff, 2 for 2. Punting-wise, Kevin Huber, Zoltan Mesko, boom, boom. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. And that is all, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Browns, 10-1 on the season. Absolutely stellar. We will, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow on Happy Friday for episode number 15. Until then, I am Tuxedo T-Shirt, and I'm out.